How are we doing tonight? Rabbit hole, yeah. Like Ali said, we got some really high energy in here. I'm specifically in a really great mood tonight. I got some really great news in my family. My cousin's having a baby. I know, it's really great news. I'm super excited to be a mom. So, yeah. Wearing the hat, so tell them a little Indiana. So I'm a bartender, and all of you are drinking tonight, so you should know that your bartender is assuming a lot about you based off of what you're drinking. For example, if you come up to me and you order a vodka cran, I'm going to assume that you're probably a college student and you're maybe like struggling with a UTI. There's antibiotics for that. If you come up to me and order a Miller Lite, I'm going to assume that at some point in your life, you probably drank a bottle of vape juice and shit your pants. And if you come up to me and order a double vodka water, it's safe for me to assume that you have a full set of baby teeth dangling loose in your pocket. And I'm going to make sure all the women sitting around you cover their drinks. But being a bartender is interesting. I've been through a lot of different seasons where it's very fast-paced, it's very slow-paced. So when it is those slower days, you kind of just have to prepare some conversation topics for the customers that sit and expect you to just entertain them for hours. One of the conversation topics I always bring up is, who is your celebrity look like, right? It's a good conversation starter. A lot of people have interesting answers for that. I'll ask a gentleman who his celebrity look-alike is, and he'll look at me with a straight face and say, Ryan Reynolds. And he doesn't look like Ryan Reynolds. So I have to kind of just smile and be like, yeah, sir, I can totally see that. If you turn your head to the right a little, or maybe if Ryan Reynolds was born prematurely, I can totally see that. You guys could be twins. Mothers, please stop telling your sons they look like Ryan Reynolds. It's not doing them any favors. Something else about me, I'm a pranky gal. I like to do pranks. I'm always scheming for the next stunt. One I've been toying around with is this prank where I post a link to an OnlyFans on my Instagram. I always think it's gonna give me, a good response. I'll think some people are gonna be like, "You got me. You're so funny. This girl's hilarious." That's resoundingly not the response I got when I did that. Unfortunately, when I did that, I lost 20 followers. 3 people responded that they were disappointed, and my high school principal said, "You're a bitch." So I don't really know why it went that way, but I'm gonna try this prank again, but on Facebook. I have a lot of my mom's friends on there, so I think it'll turn out a lot better for me. So there's some ladies in the house tonight. Speaking of Facebook, are any of y'all familiar with the Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy, Chicago? Yeah. You should be on that back there, ma'am. So I'm in this group, this Facebook group, but I'm in it for the absolute wrong reasons. Because I'm not dating anyone, and I'm kind of just using it for entertainment purposes at this time. It's an awesome group, though. I do want to mention that a lot of ladies will post, bad experiences they've had on dates. They'll figure out if their boyfriend is cheating on them, and just kind of just ask for advice all around. So it is a great group, but my absolute favorite is when people are trying to figure out if their boyfriend is cheating on them. Because if I had a man, he would have to do the absolute most to be posted in this group. So a typical post like this would go, "Hey ladies, I've been dating Joe for the last 6 months, right? He's been acting really suspicious recently. He changed his phone passwords and he doesn't really like to talk to me anymore. Is anyone else seeing him?" and there'll be like 20 comments. And that's when I sit down, I grab my popcorn, and I'm ready to read. The first couple of comments are like, oh, I've seen him on Tinder recently, and then it starts getting like juicier. It starts being like, I just went on a date with him last week. And somebody's like, I've been seeing him for 2 months. And then the last comment's like, this is my fiance, we live together. And it's so entertaining for me. But also one of my favorite things to see is when somebody posts a picture of their man and there's 0 comments. And it's like, ugh, no one wants your dude. It's kind of like when there's a whole litter of dogs board and like that one just isn't chosen. That's kind of how it feels. It's really sad, yeah. But if I've learned anything from Are We Dating the Same Guy Chicago, it's that I'm just gonna skip out on the dating apps and just date how I know how to date and stick to dating all of my ex's friends. So we're gonna stick with that. In college, for Halloween one year, I dressed as a nun. That's a pretty basic Halloween costume, right? I mean, like, it's easy. I don't know, you see a lot of nuns running around. But what I failed to think of was that it could have been considered offensive. I went to a Catholic university, so, but a lot of people, they didn't really like that. They were kind of upset with the costume I had on because I did do a little slutty nun moment, but I think I earned that spot to dress as a nun for Halloween because, you know, I went to Sunday school every Sunday. I was fed a lot of different, you know, I had to pledge my virginity to God at one point in my life, and yeah, and I'm still holding on to that.
Me too, oddly.
Good for you. Keep it up. No, but I think I earned it specifically because I have had a lot of Catholic guilt. For example, one time, or after the first time I gave a blowjob, I prayed and asked for forgiveness. Yeah, I was on my knees twice in one night. It was intense. Okay. So I also got some really sad news the other day. My family dog passed away. I know, R.I.P. He was 20 years old. He lived a long life. He had the red crusties around his eyes. It was his time. But I got a text from my mom. That's how she told me. That's how I found out. And she said, Courtney, I have some really sad news. Bocce passed away. And she was like, yeah, he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And there is something so infuriating about the term Rainbow Bridge. It's just like, it's just so corny that I can't even be upset about my dog passing. Like, I'm trying to mourn, but instead I'm just imagining my poodle mix floating away on a rainbow. So it's really hard for me to stomach. Yeah, my mom was not very happy with what I had to say when Grandpa passed, so he's floating away up there. I'm gonna get out on this one. Any cat owners in here? You back there? Okay, meow. I'm also a cat owner. There's a new study out right now that says cats adopt certain traits from their owners, right? So they'll just pick up certain things that you do. And when I first heard that, I thought it makes so much sense because every time I give my cat dinner, he throws up right after. Yeah. I really need to stop saying that joke because the last time I did, someone came up to me and said, you're so brave. So, that's enough. All right, back to our host, Allie. Thank you.